All right. What's good?
What's
I don't
up, bro?
know. Not much, man. Can't complain. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I am good. Just out
Good to
here
hear
doing
you.
it.
I love to hear it, man. What you got cooking today? I always know there's a different thing going on with you.
Yeah, yesterday was my first day of hosting a webinar for a multifamily deal that we're
Yo,
ready to close next month.
that's what you texted me about. You texted me about it, and we were taking pictures at that last property, and then I think what was my mom doing? I think she was showing the house or something like that
Uh-huh.
today. But yeah, that's what's up. How was it?
It was, bro. I actually enjoyed it. It was definitely a different experience. Like I felt like I was getting ready to go have a fight. Had to get prepared. We had to wear actually we had to wear like our white collar shirts, bro. It was amazing. I felt like
Who were
like
you
I was
talking
getting
to?
ready to have a fight, huh?
Who were you talking to?
So I was talking to investors that was wanting to come in and pitch in on the deal and on the apartment complex with us. So,
Hey, that's what's up.
and we all had our teammates, me, Ione, Joseph Mudd, KJ Mudd, Ben Pospisil, my partner. Um, who else did we have on there? We had the KPs. Man, it was a lot of people on there, dude. It was
That's
it
what's
was a
up.
lot. We had at least 34 investors show up.
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
And so it was like about 6, 7 of you guys,
Mhm.
and y'all all just speaking in front of them, like, and just talking about multifamily deals and trying to
Yeah.
what's up.
Like we were literally pitching them the deal and letting them ask questions. It was my first time, so I was actually enjoying the experience, and I'm just like, wow, like I'm really in the middle of this. You know what I'm saying?
So I know, like, whenever you're doing like multifamily, I guess each of you guys have to have a certain role inside the businesses. So what's your role that you have to do?
So I am a syndicator.
Okay,
I'm
good.
basically going around. I think they picked that role for me just because I know how to build business relationships. I know how to go out and network with different people. It's just my thing, bro. Like I love talking to people. I like talking a lot, and I discovered that. So might as well just kind of leverage my little skill set that I
Yeah,
got. And but you also have the key principal, the person that's going to sign on the loan. Then you have the limited partners; those are the actual investors, and then you got the managing partners, which is or the general partners. They call them managing members, but the general partners are the people that's basically like the boots on ground, the people that's
yeah.
actually going to be out there actively getting the deal. They're going to get it from start to finish. They're going to be doing like the asset management portion. It's a lot of stuff that the general
That's
part.
a big dogs type
Yeah,
of. I feel
yeah,
that. That's what's up. And then so you the syndicator, the money raiser.
yes. I'm going around just raising money. How much money you got? All right,
Yeah.
cool. Come on, come
So
on.
that's a big part of what you were doing then yesterday.
Yes.
Trying to get them involved into the deal and show them like all the aspects of like where the money can go. And basically
Yeah.
I guess in that sense, multifamily is just a way that, like, I want to put my money here, and I'm
Mm.
not really looking at trying to get a return on it. I'm just looking for generational wealth. What's the idea for like a investor like that?
So pretty much, I'll tell you why I'm actually involved in multifamily, and it's because of generational wealth.
Yeah.
Yes, we can build our wealth through single families, but with multifamily, it's like it's going to be there forever.
Yep.
So I mean, the NOI, the cap rate, all of that stuff matters. But like, what truly matters is how long can we keep this property? I want to keep these assets forever. These are
Yeah.
multi-million-dollar assets, so in a few years, like right now, one of the properties is worth 2 million, but like in 3 to 5 years, this property is going to be worth 5 to 6 million. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever we sell it, or not even sell it, I'm not looking to sell anything that I'm going to own as far as multifamily. But if we were to sell it, dude, you know how much money we'll be making? We do
Yeah.
some cash out refis, pay our investors out, and we hold on to the deal long term. And it's more it's more so for like long term investors, people that would just want that passive return.
Yeah.
Kind of what the limited partners role is just you're just putting in money and you're just making a passive return, just allowing people to come in and actually you got people working for you, like working for your money, basically. Like you have your money working for you, and then you got your people that's like actually working, like moving your money. They're making your money make sense. They're making sure that
Exactly.
your money increases year by year by year. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. And that's the honestly, so I treat multifamily like the way banks should be. Like,
Right.
I want to put my money in a multifamily rather than a bank, like because I know that like I'm on money, my money's gonna be sitting there regardless, but I get such a higher like return as far
Mm-hmm.
as like my money sitting there rather than sitting in a bank not doing nothing.
Right.
So 100%. And then my return is a lot better whenever I want to take it out. So
Yeah.
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 So I like multifamily. We only did one, so I'm like I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get to your level on that, but I like multifamily. That's cool.
Yes, sir.
Man, I can't complain. So that's dope. I like that. So that was the predominantly how long was that? And how long do I have to talk?
We was on there for an hour, and maybe our
Woo.
intentions were just to stay on there for like 1 hour, like just straight 1 hour. That's it.
Yeah.
But we had investors, of course. We kept the questions until the end, so they had to ask their questions, and it kind of went over time. But that was good because I wanted to make sure that everybody get their questions answered. I didn't want anybody left in the dark. I want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what we're doing with the property, so that they know exactly where their money is going
But
at the end of the day.
y'all get any jumpers at the end of the convo?
Yes, we
Hey,
so far we got 100,000. We got one investor that just today he put in $100,000,
bet. And
which
y'all needed 250, right?
to be honest, 1.7 million. So we just need 10 more of the guy that we had
One of those
today.
guys.
We just need 10 more of those guys.
When is the closing? Like when do y'all how long do y'all have?
So we got two different dates. In case because we're doing a loan assumption. So
Mhm.
if we don't close soon on this loan assumption, or if the loan assumption process kind of takes a little bit longer, then we're going to push the closing out until June. So, but for right now, we got it set for the middle of May.
Okay, bet. Oh, so that's like just next month.
Right.
I'll say I gotta yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta make some
We
moves.
got to hit it.
That's what's up
We
then.
got
That's
to
what's
hit
up.
it.
I like that. Oh man, that's I like that. I'm really just right now. We just finished out that those rentals. Finished getting the pictures set
Okay.
up. Got everything set up for the midterm rentals. Actually got hit up. I've been calling what are those people called uh
Property managers. You got
no recruiters.
recruiters. Okay.
So yeah, I've been hit the recruiters. Actually, like the first call, I'm sure that don't ever happen, but the first call had two people that was like ready to set up into the places. They're like, okay, they need to start May 1st. I'm like, it's already set up,
Oh,
and they're like, okay, cool. So that I'm sure that never really happens, but that was
right.
a pretty good day so far. So as far as that, and then I was telling from last time, I was telling like how my credit was terrible, which it didn't just soar up completely like great, but like
Mhm.
it's been on the struggle bus going up. And so I found out like some different ways and strategies I can use with AI that can get a lot of stuff deducted off my credit and just boost the credit up. And that way I can start applying for. The only reason I really want to credit is because for business credit and,
Got you.
and utilize business credit for for real estate and all that kind of stuff. So that's exciting, man. I just got started with that today, and I'm gonna
Wow.
definitely drop some gems whenever I get situated with it. But
Yeah.
definitely got that's something definitely something I talk about on here. So
You're gonna
that's
teach
what
me a
kind of,
thing too.
oh yeah, no, because the thing is, I'm trying to tell you, like this thing is ridiculous. Like you don't have to do anything. Like
Right.
AI is crazy nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Like AI is like really really crazy. Like literally, it's hands off of everything.
I love
And
it.
so yeah, so that's definitely gonna be something I talk about on here. Hopefully, I can get the dude that's mentoring it over on here. That'd be dope. 'Cause he's a cool dude.
Nice.
He from Chicago, so he got the accent and
Okay.
everything.
Yeah, that accent.
He got that accent. So that's my man. He's a cool dude. But with all
Man.
that said, what we talking about today, man?
I think
The main
today's
objective.
topic should be, I mean, this is our second episode, so I know a lot of newer wholesalers or a lot of people that's getting into the game. They kind of want to know, like, hey, man, like, it's cool. We can hear y'all talk all day, but let's talk about the nitty gritty. How can I get my first deal, or how can we get a deal done? How can we get our first deal? How can we get, or if I already have a deal or I got my first deal done, how can I consistently do deals?
Yeah,
So I think today's topic should be how to get your first deal. I think that's
absolutely.
a really good topic.
No, I
I
agree.
Where I got this topic from was I met someone at Ace Cash Express, and hopefully she actually subscribed to my channel. Because I told her, I said, hey, we're going to be doing these lives every Tuesday and Thursday. It's really dedicated to, different experienced investors. Like you could be non-experienced or you could be experienced, and we may have a few gems that you can take, and But she was like, yeah, I know nothing about real estate investing, but I know I want to be involved in it. And the reason why we even got on the topic of real estate was because I came in there. So I buy mobile homes, right?
Yeah.
And one of my tenants, for some reason, they always pay towards the end of the month, thinking that they don't have to pay last month's rent. And I'm like, dude, okay. So sometimes they get behind, right? And I have so much stuff that I'm doing throughout the day. And the mobile home park that I'm paying, for whatever reason, they took off the ACH payments. So I have to physically go into Ace to go make a payment to the mobile home park. Like I can't pay the mobile home park directly because they have like a third party servicer
Yeah.
that they got set up. So okay, whatever. So I go in there like a few days ago, and she said, what's going on, how you doing, and all of that stuff. I forgot exactly how we started the conversation, but she asked me like, who is this payment going to? And I said, oh, I'm paying a mobile home park. She said, oh, how much you paying over there? I was like, well, I'm not paying. I'm actually catching up my tenants. I'm catching them up. She was like, tenants? I said, yeah. Like, what do you mean tenants? I said, well, I got a mobile home, but I'm renting it out. She said, oh, okay, so you moved in with your tenants. All right, cool. So I'm just following the
Well, that
conversation.
makes
I'm like,
sense. Yeah.
yeah. And so I said, but yeah, like they pay me, $500 a month, and I have to pay the lot rent, $545. She said, so wait, how are y'all moved in together and you making 500? She said, what? Tell me what you doing. So I said, oh, you really don't understand. Okay, so I'm a landlord. I'm an investor. I bought this mobile home and I rented it out, and I'm making $500 a month in cash flow. And then she asked me, what is cash flow? So I'm like, cash flow is just basically reoccurring money coming into my bank account every single month, just coming from my tenant. And she's like, oh, I want to learn about this real estate stuff. I said, well, first thing I told her was subscribe to our YouTube channel. That was I had to tell her, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because you're going to have a lot of questions, and a lot of those questions are going to be answered here. So hopefully she's here. She knows who I'm talking about, um, but she's the reason that I wanted to get on this topic. I want to cover this topic because a lot of people ask me that. They DM me, they ask me, hey, Jabs, how do I get started? I'm from Michigan, or I'm from Wisconsin. I really want to, do my first deal, but I don't know where to start. It's too much information out there, and you're going to get that. There is a ton of information, like a ton. But I think when people ask me, how do I get started in real estate? It's like, well, what do
It's
you
a
want
broad
to do?
question. Yeah, such a
Like,
broad question.
what do you want to do? Do you actually want to invest? Like, do you want to come out of pocket and
Yeah.
pay for a property and then you start cash flowing? Do you want to fix and flip? Do you want to wholesale? Do you want to become an agent? Do you want to become a leasing man? Like, what do you want to do? There is
Mhm.
way too many. That's like, it's a very broad question.
Yeah.
So when people ask me that, at first, I used to just tell them, go drive for dollars. But a lot of people don't have time for that. The only reason why I was telling go drive for dollars was because that's how I got my first deal, driving for
Yeah.
dollars. And that's how I was making money. So now I got to the point to where, okay, some people, they don't have time to go out and go drive for dollars, right? So what would be the best way? What would be my best approach or my best answer to these people? I need to know, what do you want to do? If we're talking about wholesaling, where you can just assign a contract over and negotiate with a seller and negotiate with a buyer and you make money in the middle, let's stick to that wholesaling. Let's stick to that. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, let's just talk about wholesaling today,
Exactly. That's. I
because it's
mean,
the
that's the
easiest
easiest
way to
way.
get in, it's the easiest way to get into real estate.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Damien, if
And
you were new, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was like, I was agreeing with you. I was like, that's the easiest way, honestly, to get started in real estate. I mean, it's like that's the hard, and like we saw yesterday, the hardest thing about real estate is figuring out what you want to do.
What did you want
And
to do?
and there's so many avenues, and just wholesaling in general. It can be wholesaling creative deals. It can be wholesale. 'Cause I know we talk about creative deals. You can wholesale regular deals.
Yep.
That's like when you get down to nitty gritty, that's the easiest thing to do, and it's the most time efficient thing to do, especially if you're just not getting into real estate, you don't really know much about it. It doesn't take up that much more of your time to kind of get into like get your first deal. Like you, it's really to the point of you, like you said, driving for dollars. If you don't have time for doing that, get on the phone, call
Yep.
people, like get online. Like all the time you watching Netflix, you can really be online looking up Zillow or looking up
Hey.
whatever kind of software. Find that one deal, wholesale to somebody that actually wants to fix and flip it, and make your bread. And
Mhm.
I think like that first deal concept is real. Like once you get that, like you say, you saw that dude had his first 5,000.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, this is for real. Like when thing is, funny about my first deal was only $350.
What?
My very first wholesale deal was $350.
Can we talk about that, bro?
Yeah. So what happened? So I was calling my wholesaler companies, right?
Mhm.
And I found one. I was like, okay, bet. So it was like I don't even know the price, the numbers anymore. It was like it was like 200K is what they wanted. Oh, no, no, they wanted 210. And I negotiated them to 200K. I was like, okay, bet. Like my hedge fund said they'll do 220. I'm thinking I'm making 20 bands like right now.
Right.
Somehow they made a mistake back in on the hedge fund. They said, oh, we can only give 203. I was like 203, and so it like whatever it came to be, whatever it started going negotiating. So we started back and forth, and we ended up doing like well, at the end of the day, I only got like $350. I don't know how the breakdown was. I got a certain amount, and then I was entitled to like 20% or something like that. But it ended up being $350. I didn't even get like my name on the hood. I didn't. They sent me a Venmo, like.
Wow, bro.
But
I
but
mean,
thing is, that's proof of concept
it's
though.
a concept right there, bro. It's a proven concept.
Yeah, I didn't stop. Like when I got that, I was happy. Like I was like I wish I could frame this. Like well, I couldn't
Yeah.
frame it from Venmo, but like like I wanted like I was like I could really do this wholesale thing. Like that one was like I learned from that. That was cool. But like I get it now. Like I understand the concept of how it goes. The hedge fund dudes didn't even really teach me how to. They were being so they're like when somebody's too busy to really help you out, they really showed that
Yeah.
they didn't want to help me out at all. So I had to figure like what is I didn't know nothing. I'm telling you, I didn't know nothing. Hey, today's my 1 year.
Hey,
Today I signed
hey,
the
happy real estate anniversary.
yeah, birthday anniversary. But no, I didn't know anything, man. Like I didn't know anything on what anything. I didn't know really what wholesale was, how to do any of that. So and they made it harder when they didn't like answer the phones to help me out or anything like that. So my
Yeah.
350, I was happy about it. I was like, I got 350. I'm gonna do it again. And I was looking for another 350, but things start stacking up. Things start making sense and clicking. So
I
yeah,
love
wholesaling is pretty, and that was like my first month. Like I was like my first, I think it was like my first 2 weeks, and I was hitting the phones
it.
hard.
It's crazy. You were doing the complete opposite of what I was doing, bro. I did not
Yeah,
touch the phones, dog. I didn't I did not want to get on them phones. I didn't want to sound stupid. I didn't want to sound like I didn't know what I was doing.
I did do that. I sounded stupid, definitely. Hey, most definitely sounded stupid,
But
100%.
you did it, bro.
Yeah,
You got past your fears. You was just like, screw it. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna take action. Bro,
yeah.
I love that. I love it.
I wish I recorded those calls. Oh my gosh, I would
Yeah.
laugh at me if I was recording those calls and I like started. Part of me wanted to do that, but part of me was like, I'm not gonna look stupid for all these people.
Yeah.
But I wish I did now, like, and I still can. Like, I'm a professional, but I wish I started right then and there, and then now see like where I'm at now. I'm sure I got something. I'm gonna go back in my. I'm gonna dig. I'm gonna dig a little bit.
I kind of I you know what? I had kind of I documented a little bit of my journey from when I first got in here. But
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna get into that right now.
yeah,
We 19 minutes in it. I
yeah.
think people they're going to know, all right, y'all.
When we get into the nitty
Dude,
gritty, man.
yeah, what do we need to do to get started? How do we get a deal?
Yeah,
So, Damien, when you first started, and I know I'm putting the ball in your court, but when you
yeah.
first started, what did you like? How did you figure out that you wanted to wholesale? Like, was your first deal a wholesale deal, or was it like a deal as an agent?
Yeah.
Or
So so I'm gonna stick to my investing side because I was an agent beforehand. I was an agent for like 5 years, but didn't sell nothing. So like my house and that was it. So I'm not gonna go back into that. I was a terrible agent. So as far as like me being like a year ago, my first deal was a wholesale deal.
got
Um,
you. So
And
how did you get there? Like how did you figure out that, you know, I think okay.
wholesale was my thing. So that was just the easiest way for the easiest like entry to barrier for me to get in through. Like all I had, I didn't really have much knowledge. I had to join somebody's team, like we talked about, and they had a task for me to do. They said, I need you to call these people and get a deal. I need you to call, like, and find a house for whatever deal you needed to. And so I was control of all the Florida area because that's back when I lived in Florida. And so at
Mm-hmm.
that time, I was like, that's what they needed for me out of that team. So that's kind of how I fell into wholesaling.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect. Perfect.
yeah,
And
yeah,
where I was going with that question was just kind of like what was your thoughts or what were you thinking when you said, okay, I think I want to wholesale versus be an agent or become a fix and flipper or anything, any of that stuff.
yeah. So when it came to like, because I got my license, as soon as I got my license, I started doing investing. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason I didn't go towards doing like the agent stuff is because I already knew how that grind was. Like, I didn't like the fact of me having to go market out to sellers, me market out to buyers to go potentially list somebody's home, or me go help somebody find a home. Like, I didn't. First of all, I didn't have money to go drive around people and show them
Yeah.
houses for fun. I don't. I'm not doing that. Um, and then I wasn't really like I wasn't there for with sellers yet when like feeling comfortable with talking to them about trying to sell their property or list it on the MLS. I didn't have that confidence yet, so I just did what I was told honestly at that point. And like they told me they needed me to call, you know, I, I didn't want to pull this either. They had money to pull this, so I had to
Yep.
go the freeway, went online, and started looking at the wholesale companies and got a hold of those guys and just started going that way with them. So fix and flipping, no money, didn't really understand the concept, wasn't in sub two, didn't know about all the no money, no credit, no credentials, didn't know about any of that. So yeah,
Nice. I love it. I like how you said no money, no credentials, all of that stuff.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. So I like that. But yeah, I figured out the best way to do it was like you had three things when it ever came to it. You got to find leads, which is like how you gonna bring in whatever kind of lead it is, whether it's door knocking, drop for deals, calling, whatever
Mm-hmm.
the case is. You got to find how you're gonna convert it, like how you're gonna talk to them,
Yeah.
negotiate them down, how you're gonna do whatever it is, and the dispo, how you're gonna dispo it. So that's the main three things I figured out when wholesaling. That's it's as simple as that. Just figure out those three things, and that's how you got your business going.
That's it. That's literally it. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna touch on those topics.
yeah. Go ahead.
Here's my question. What do you want to do? You want to get into real estate, right? But what exactly do you want to do? Um, I figured out I'm the same way as Damien. Told my homie, look, I ain't got no money, I ain't got no credit. All right. Credit is probably like a 540, 550. Actually, it was a 580 because I was 40 points away from actually becoming a homeowner or being qualified as a homeowner. But anyway, so I kind of like I summed everything up. Look, I don't have funds right now. Like I got money, but like it's like a couple $1,000, like $1,000 or $2,000, maybe three. I was delivering donuts. I was doing every type of job just to make ends meet. Delivering donuts, working as a security, working in a warehouse, doing Uber, doing Lyft. Like I'm doing everything. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I already automatically knew, okay, well, I don't have enough to try to do a fix and flip when my homie first got me into it. So I'm like, all right, cool. What would be the best efficient way for me to get inside of this stuff? Boom, figure it out. Wholesaling. Wholesaling was the answer. I don't need money. I don't need credit. All I need is a skill, and that's to close. So, but I didn't know anything about closing back then when I first got started. But luckily, y'all have us, and we're going to be making calls and all of that stuff so that you can kind of learn how to close. And we'll be doing some role plays and all of that stuff. We might have some people come in here and actually help us out on the sales side. Um, but I would say the very first step is figure out like what exactly do you want to do.
Yep.
Okay, so we're on the topic of wholesaling, which is that's the easiest way. It's the fastest way to get a deal done. It's the fastest way to make 5 grand to 10 grand. That's life changing right there. Once you get that first $5,000 or $10,000, maybe even 20, you like okay, yeah, I got to get another one of these, and then another one, and then another one. and then
Yeah.
put somebody else on, and then they go get one, and I help them get one, and then they go get another one, and then another one, and it just start becoming addicting. So figure out first what you want to do: wholesale, fix and flip, buy and hold, be an agent. You got Damien. He said he didn't like being an agent. Are you still an agent?
I am still an agent
Perfect.
technically, but
He could be
I
listing my houses right now.
I
But
could be listening to houses. Hey, let me know.
so that's the first step. Figure out what you want to do. Now that we know that we want to wholesale, okay. Well, if you have time, meaning if you work like a part-time job or something like that, go get active. Go out there and go do my favorite thing. Go drive for dollars. Go out there and go drive. Why do I pick driving for dollars as my way of bringing in leads? Let me rewind. After you figure out what you want to do, you need to go find leads. You can't do this business without having leads. Leads are like your bread and butter to your business. You have to have leads. So how do we find these leads? My favorite way was driving for dollars, and I'm going to preach it because it's easy, it's free. We ain't got to pay nobody to do nothing. I don't have to clock in or nothing like that. It's easy. I'm driving around my neighborhood. If y'all are familiar with Fort Worth, I'm in stop six somewhere, driving the neighborhood in the hood. I'm looking at hood houses. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking for stuff that needs. If I'm looking at stuff that's like almost. It looks like a 1920s type of house. Like they got old blinds. They got like I'm looking at everything on a house. I'm looking at rundown houses, and if I find them, I'm adding them to my list. I will write those addresses down inside of my notebook. Right, that was one of my ways of getting a deal, getting my first deal, driving for dollars. When you're driving for dollars, and I can host a whole class on this because driving for dollars is like that was me, bro. That was me. But you would literally go out there and hit at least 100, let's just say up to 200 houses per day. Mm-hmm. If you're not hitting 100 to 200 houses, you're not serious. If I was training somebody on driving for dollars and they came back to me with like 10 houses, I would tell them, don't ever come back. Don't even come back because you're showing me that you don't know how to hustle. You're going to find a way. If you want some money, if you're trying to get rich, or you trying to get wealthy, you trying to become wealthy, you're going to find a way. Trust me. You're going to find a way. You're going to find 100 to 200 houses per day. Mm-hmm. You know those little certain areas where you're not supposed to be in. You know those certain areas where it's the hood. Go start in the hood somewhere. That'd be a great place to start. That was my place. Starting in the hood, man. So now that I'm doing that, okay, cool. I'm driving around. I found 100, 200 houses. What's next? Okay. Well, I would hold on to that list. I would wait until the next day. I'm hitting 100 more houses. That's 200 houses. Then I would wait till the next day. I get another 100 houses. That's 300 right there. Then I would wait till the next day. I'm hitting another. What's that? 400 houses. And then on Friday, I hit another 100. That's 500 houses right there. Whew. If we're doing 500 houses a week, multiply that by 4, that's 2,000 houses right there. You can't tell me out of 2,000 people, not one person is going to be saying is going to tell you that they don't want to sell their house. Somebody out of that 2,000 list, out of that 2,000, those 2,000 leads, somebody wants to sell their house.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah, they just don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So now that I have 500 houses, the very next step is I got to find a way to get in communication with these people. I got to find a way to talk to these people. Mm-hmm. Okay. How are we going to do that? We got to find their phone numbers. They call it skip tracing. So you got a few skip tracing services. My favorite one I use is leadsherpa.com. I'm going to give y'all all my sauce because I want y'all to actually go out here and do deals. And I want y'all to comment and say, hey, we just got our first deal. We listened to you guys. Y'all gave us a lot of really good game. It was no fluff. I want to be able to see that people are closing deals and we're actually helping out. We're giving out real stuff. So I use Lead Sherpa. Other users, they use batchleads.io. You can skip trace in there. You can text in there. You can do really pretty much everything in batch leads. I don't even know why I don't use batch leads. But
well, they upgraded.
Yeah. But I was put on to Lead Sherpa. and it was easy. I think I like it because it's simple, it's easy. I can do a single skip trace or I can do a bulk skip trace. Skip tracing is all you're doing is you're just finding people's phone numbers, finding
Yeah.
out the phone numbers and finding out who the owner is, all of that stuff. That's all skip tracing is. So now that I skip trace these leads, I got 500 leads. The next step is I need to actually talk to these leads, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, Damien, I got 500 leads. How can I talk to these people now? I got their phone numbers. How do I talk to them though?
Sorry, there's a few ways. Like I know you have a dialer. Is one way you can do it. It's more efficiently. Go ahead and plug them inside the dialer. What is it? The one you use is Boss Up. What is it? Is
Yeah,
that what it is? Boss Up. I know another one is which one did I use? I don't even know which one. I think I used somebody else's on the team.
like Mojo
Um,
or something.
yeah, yeah, or yeah, something like that. I actually don't know if you mean dollars, but what a dialer is basically when you just throw the names inside of a dialer and it'll auto populate all the dialers. So you can buy like up to, depending on the software, you can buy up to like five dialers. I suggest probably going no more than probably 5 or 6, just because if you have all those dialers going at once and somebody does pick up, it's gonna keep hanging
Mhm.
up on them, and then you'll lose that lead probably because you keep missing that call. But what it does is it just powers out all the calls for you. So all you do is answer the phone, tell them no, okay, cool, next one, and just keep going on through the calls. It's just time efficient for you. So especially the ones that don't have time or a lot of time to take the time to make all these calls, it's more efficient. So you can knock out those 500 calls you have to do probably within like 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah,
So pretty much you just get on a dollar. You can some people this is for the people that actually have time. You got you're working a part-time job, hop on a dollar. You got dollars like the ones that Damien named. You also got Mojo. That's the very first dollar that I was introduced to, Mojo. And then you also have Batch Dollar. You also have you got what is that thing called? Call Tools.
call. That's what I
I
was
was using
talking
Call
about.
Tools for
Call tools. That's what it was.
yeah. I was using Call Tools. That's a really good dollar to use. You can go up to like 10 different lines, but I don't think that's safe. We usually keep it between like 3 to 5 lines,
Yeah,
so that you can call like between 3 to 5 different people, or
yeah.
you know.
I
But
wanna
anyway, so
I want to back you up a little bit just before because when you're driving for these houses that you're looking for, what are you looking for? Like, what's some indicators that like, oh, okay, this house I'm gonna add to the list?
oh, I like that. I will have a video. Actually, I do have a video on my YouTube channel
Yeah.
talking about driving $4 and what to look for. But I'm gonna touch on that. So whenever I'm driving around and I'm looking at a house, I'm looking for like the smallest little flaws.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say the smallest little flaws, I'm talking about. I wonder, can I hold on? Let me see if I can like share my screen so that
Yeah, go ahead.
y'all can see what I'm looking for. Give me 1 second. Because I could make a class out of driving for dollars. Like that's how much I love it. I literally made like a list of stuff.
Because I'm
Hold on.
assuming you're not looking at like the best house in the neighborhood and like, oh, I'm gonna write that on my list, right?
Nah, you're not looking for the best houses in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You're looking for good, saying like some decent neighborhoods with some ugly houses. Let me share my screen so that y'all can see what I can see. Let's see. Present, share screen, and then let me know if you can see it. I'm not sharing it yet. Entire screen. Here we go. Share system audio. Oh, I gotta actually click the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
All right. There we go.
right, then I'm gonna add it to the thing. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. So I literally made a Google Drive just straight up talking about driving for dollars, like how to
Yeah,
drive for
sure.
dollars, what to look for. So here's one house. We can go over this really quick. Can y'all see this? You can see this, Damien?
Yeah, I can see. It. Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So this is very obvious. The house is boarded up. I'm looking for stuff like this. I'm looking at boarded up houses. The siding or the exterior is cracking. The paint is just old. It looks ran down. It's nasty. Like the roof looks like it looks like it need a new roof. Like just look at the house. Look at the door. The door looks pretty old. Like this house, it needs work. Like I would tear this house down. This property will be added on my list. I'm adding this house because houses to me, they tell a story. What exactly is going on? Why is this house boarded up? Is this a trap house? Or maybe is this someone's parents and they just don't want to, they don't want the property anymore? Like, is this like this is a vacant baby right here? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to take care of these babies. We got to take care of our kids. We got to take care of these people.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out what's going on. Like, if I'm looking at this house and the first thing I think is, wow, what is that? I'm adding that house to my list. I'm adding this property to my list. This is one of the wow, what is that? Like, this is an old door. That door is old, super old. Is that 1900 built? Like, this may have
No,
this
they got
may be,
the old screen doors. Yeah.
oh my goodness, dude. Look, we got boarded up windows. Like the paint is cracking.
Slipping off. Yep.
Dude, come on. It looks like it need a new roof.
Grass ain't been watered in years. All that.
Bro, this house is screaming. I need to be sold. Like, please, somebody come by me.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at all of these different flaws. That house is going on my list. Let's look at the next one. You see this right here? Like all of this,
wood,
dude.
yeah. Cracks, like foundation, all that kind of stuff.
I'm looking at all of that. I am looking at every little tiny little piece of this house. This house needs some love. We're looking for stuff that actually needs some love. A house that looks like it needs to be taken care of. So this garage door over here, you can see like it's like, dude, this like, come on, man. Like, the house speaks for itself. It tells you a story. Like, what's going on in this house? Maybe they don't have the money to fix up the house. Maybe they can't afford the repairs. Maybe
they just don't care.
People just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, we need to figure it out. So the only way we can figure it out is by just calling them.
Yeah.
Hey man, what's going on? My name is Jabs. I'm an investor in the area, and I was just seeing if you was entertaining any offers right now. How you know I want to sell my house? Because I'm looking at it. No, I'm kidding. Don't say that. Don't say that. But literally, y'all, like, these houses have flaws on them. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for chip paint. I'm looking for roofs that looks like they need to be replaced. I'm looking for stuff in the garage. Like, I'm looking for those small little flaws. Let's see. I got pictures for days, dude. I have a ton of pictures. But here's my list that I made. I made a nice little list. Okay, let me see if y'all can see that. All right. Can you see that, or I need
to zoom back in? Yeah, zoom back in a little bit.
Hold on, let me see. All right. What about now?
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah.
Okay. So, and this was like a long time ago when I put this together. But when you're driving, looking at different properties, be sure to look for these small signs. Examples: damaged exterior bricks or the siding, damaged paint, old roof, old front door, outdated painting, damaged driveway or cracks in the driveway. If you see a lot of cars in the driveway, old cars, those cars that's like on these dang it.
No air in the tires.
Yeah, flat tires.
Windows,
you know what I'm saying? Broken windows. Yeah. All of that stuff. Like, you got trash in the front of the house, furniture in front of the house, damaged garage doors. If you see window units, those are my favorite ones. Whenever I see window units, like, what for one, okay, some people, they like to live with window units because they blow cold air. I get it. But then there are some people that maybe their AC just blown out. They can't afford to fix the AC. Why can't they afford to fix the AC? Something probably going on. I don't know. Maybe they can't afford their mortgage and their AC just blown out, and now they can't afford that. That is money coming out of their pocket every single month.
Yep.
Or every time they think about something like, God dang it. Okay, I just fixed this. Now my AC just blew out. I got window units inside of my dude. Houses tell me a story.
Yeah.
This is why I love driving for dollars so much. These houses tell me a story. So if I see window units in a house, I'm adding that to my list. automatically. It got to be something going on in there. If you see, yeah, AC units in the windows, windows with no blinds. Those are my absolute favorites. Why do you have a window with no blind?
See right through your house.
I can see right through. I can see right through your crib. Why do you have? First of all, I'm from the hood, right? So we used to put up like sheets. If
Yeah.
I see sheets instead of curtains, oh baby, you going on my list. What you got sheets up for instead of curtains? You know what I'm saying? Something going on up in there, bro. Something is going on. If I see damaged blinds, I'm adding that to my list. These are like the smallest little details, and this is
Yeah.
why some investors will only get 20 houses versus 100 houses because you see all of these things right here.
So if I just see, let's just say example, if I just see like one of these things, am I gonna write it down? Do I need to see like accumulation of like at least like 3 to 5 of these things like before I write it down?
I'm gonna be completely honest, like 100%. If I see one of these, if I see one of these flaws, I'm adding it to my
Really?
list.
That'll get you to 100 though.
That is exactly why I'm getting 100 to 200 houses per day.
Yeah, that'll
That is
get you
exactly
100.
why. It's a numbers game. Okay, I'm looking at a crib, and all of a sudden I see window units. But the house is gorgeous. It's nice. It's pretty. Everything looks good. But these people got window units. They may not want to sell right now, but probably in a few more months, we follow up with them. Hey, I want to sell my house. Why? What's going on? My AC unit just went out, or my AC just been blown out. It's something.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. All right, cool. We got you covered. We're gonna make you an offer. Let me come to look at the house, bro. Houses tell me a story. That's why I love driving for dollars. Like I can talk for days. Maybe this is going to be the whole the whole juice, but I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna
Drop
do
for
it.
dollars. No, because
So
I mean, driver dollars is like one of the biggest ways to honestly. I mean, like everybody. I mean, not everybody, but I mean, 9 times out of 10, everybody got a whip or they driving somewhere at some point, and they gonna drive by a house. Everybody sees the house like, "Ooh, what's going on with there?" I did it just yesterday, and I just thought about it. Like that's driving for bills. That's
yeah,
driving for dollars. Like that's what it is. And so it's almost like you're doing it self consciously.
yep,
Like everybody has that time where they just judge somebody's house.
yep,
I ain't even got a house, but I'm gonna judge their house, type of thing. But like everybody does that, so it's like one of the things you can just subconsciously do and make money for it, type of thing.
hmm,
So I love that. I mean, other ways you can go to title companies, pull lists. You can get divorce lists. You can what else? What's some other no equity lists? Like all
oh
these cost money to kind of pull these kind of lists from different services like Batch Leads. What's
yeah,
another one? What's another one that pulls leads?
you
Prop
got prop
Stream,
streaming.
Prop
Yep,
Stream,
I was going to get into that.
Propelio. I don't know if they're still in business after that
Yep.
shenanigans they did.
So
So
you
all
got
those kinds of things. Yeah. So it's multiple ways you can pull this, but the main thing is what you were bringing up is you want to find some motivation, basically.
hmm,
Like they got some motivation of like they could be wanting to sell because of the AC unit, the car outside, the roof warped, the no
yep,
shades or blinds in the windows. You want to find motivation on whatever kind of leads they're looking up for because that's going to help your chances of converting that person into a contract.
exactly.
Yeah,
And it all starts with we got to have leads.
yeah,
So these are for people that have time on their hands. So I'm actually I'm talking about people that actually got time that like, hey, I want to put in the work, I want to put in the grit. So I'm looking at my list over here, and another way is like Damien just brought up pulling list.
yeah,
If you don't have time and you want to hire a virtual assistant is somebody that's probably in the Philippines or something like that, maybe in India or something, but they're gonna literally work for you. So let's just say you don't have time and you're at work, you got a few $1,000s in your bank account, and you're like, all right, cool. I think I can invest something, but not a lot.
yeah.
So you hire your virtual assistant, you're pulling lists, you're going to pull lists from like PropStream, batchleads.io. You can use listsource.com. That's another good one. They may be a little bit pricey, but you can use that. You got websites like iSpeed to Lead.
That's a good
Uh,
one. Yeah,
you also have websites like he mentioned Propelio. Another one is one that I gave out on the first episode, which was taxsales.lgbs.com.
Hmm.
That's a really good way to find a free list. Now that may be time consuming because you're actually going through the list and you're putting it inside of a spreadsheet. But if y'all have questions on that, just DM one of us on Instagram and or on here. Make a comment and we can kind of guide y'all in the right direction. But
Yeah, most definitely.
the idea of it is, first of all, you have to take action. You got to get these leads. So now that you pull the list, cool. Next step, skip trace.
Hmm.
I use leadsherpa.com. That's my favorite skip tracing platform right now until I find somebody that's better. But I don't think I'm leaving Lead Sherpa right now.
No, this
Uh,
server is good, affordable. Like they're affordable
yeah,
pricing, and so that's what it really costs. This is like what 13 cents,
yeah, somewhere around 12,
12,
13
13.
cents. Yep,
Yeah. Okay,
per lead. So
I like that. I
then,
do want to touch on what you said before. If anybody's out there like me, when I just started, I was lazy. I was definitely lazy, and I tried to do the VA thing and have somebody else just do my calls because I was like, hey, I don't want to do these calls. I can just have somebody else do it. Be careful with that because if you do not know how to, if you don't know how to do it, you can't teach your VA how to do it. I don't
yeah,
care how
yeah,
experienced they say
yeah,
they are in real estate investing and they do
yes.
calls like this all the time. They'll BS you all the time just to get paid because they're all they worried about is their next check. And so they would tell you like, "Oh yeah, I'm good with this. I'm good with that." If you're not onto them, if you don't have somebody supervising their calls or doing like the dialer that can record the calls and see how they're doing, I had a VA that was on Facebook, just like scrolling through Facebook when they set the wrong calls, type thing. Like so, be careful. Make sure you monitor your VAs. Make sure you coach your VAs. Stay on top of them. Have meetings with them. You know as much as you can. When trying to prepare them for that, I definitely suggest waiting if you can. To you prefer. Hey, mamas.
Mhm.
Um, this is Ava. Want to say hi? All right. Okay, cool. All right. Watch out.
I'm surprised one of mine haven't came in yet.
I know. But no, so just be mindful of working with VAs. I love VAs. I definitely suggest using them once you want to scale out of your business. But just be careful in the meantime. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Love it. So now we skip traced them.
Mhm.
We got them skip traced. We pulled the list. We skip traced them. Now we got to get on the phone with them. We can use those dialers that we were mentioning earlier. Now, if you don't want to talk and you don't have the time, okay, maybe you can do texting. You can do SMS blasting. I use launch control. I'm gonna be really honest. That is very, very, very expensive. It is about $500 to $600 a month to use launch control, but you can send out like 20,000 text messages. And of course, you got to follow the guidelines, but you can get in touch with these sellers by texting them versus calling. If you don't have time, you can just be on your phone texting while you're at work. Hey, how you doing? I was just seeing if you would consider an offer on this property at 123. What's everybody's favorite house? 123 Main Street. So we send out these text messages and we got a lead or we got a potential lead. Hey, yes, I'm interested in selling. I want $450,000. Okay, cool. We take a look on Zillow. The house is probably worth $450,000. Right?
Yeah.
Now, the fact that you're taking action is what really matters. You don't want to sit
Mhm.
on the sideline like everybody else. It's not doing deals. You don't want to sit on the sidelines and just be waiting for that moment. No, go do it now. Like, go get on the phone. Go drive for dollars. Go door knock. Go do all of that stuff. So you got. Let's just. I'm gonna make it simple. Let's go back to texting. You got this lead. They're texting. Cool. I want 450. The house is worth 450. Okay. Well, first of all, are these people flexible on this number? If they're not, okay, cool. Move on to the next one. Don't dwell on that lead. That's one thing that some people get stuck up on is, man, this person is asking market value, but my offer is like 240,000. Move on to the next lead.
Yeah. I still do that now. Like and I'm working on like I'll be like so focused on one lead, but it's like just there. and I want it
Mhm.
to work because it's like right there, and I'm about to get paid, and it's just a little bit of negotiating, and I spend all my time trying to focus and negotiate with that one lead that I'm not even thinking about some another lead that I can potentially be getting. So
Yep.
one thing is always keep your pipeline full. Like keep it full, because at
Yes.
that point, you'll if your pipeline is full, you're not worried about that lead. You like, okay,
Yep.
well, cool, they playing around. I'm gonna come back to that one, see what they're doing later. That yeah, like you should. That's the kind of feeling you should have. You shouldn't have like where
Mhm.
I need this lead. Like, of course, everybody wants that deal to fall through because they want it, but don't ever like feel to a point where it's like, hey, like this is the only thing that's gonna survive me for this month. Like that should never be the case.
Yeah,
That
man.
should never be the case. Like
Yeah.
for every lead like that, get three more leads
Yep. I
every
like
time.
that. So let's just say, okay, you can't afford the texting. No big deal. Well, here's a free way.
Yep.
Go door knock. Go
Hmm.
out there and go door knock. Go hit them doors, man. Somebody got to do it. Maybe you can hire somebody to just go out door knocking and just give them like 10% of your wholesale fee or 20% of your wholesale fee. Hire somebody to go door knocking if you don't have the time. If you do have the time, please go out there. If well, let me rewind right quick because you may not want to go driving for dollars. You probably pull a pre foreclosure list. Go to taxsales.lgbs.com. I'm gonna say it again. Tax sales, taxsales.lgbs.com. Pull that list and go door knock on those doors. Find your county. It could be Tarrant County, Dallas County. Where is Pace at? Maricopa County.
Yep.
Go to any of those counties, and I want you to go door knock that list. Whatever county you're in, go door knock that list. There's people that need you. There's people that need you. Those are people that's about to lose their house because they didn't pay taxes. So you need to go door knocking. You need to go let them know that, hey, I got a couple solutions for you. So that's a free way. Only thing you coming out of pocket for is gas. You ain't got to pay for lists. You ain't got to pay for leads. You ain't got to pay for a dollar. You don't have to pay for um, skip tracing. You got to pay for none of that. You're
Mhm.
just literally coming in here and you're just door knocking. So go hit those doors. That's another way that you can market to the leads.
Yeah.
I also have leaving door hangers. You can buy some door hangers or you can make your own. I used to come up with some creative stuff, man. I used to have sticky notes. I would post them on people's doors. Give me a call. I'm interested in buying your house. Or I would just print out some papers, like 50 to 100 papers. I'm Jabs. I'm interested in your property. Give me a call, 817, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
People, they'll call back. This is a free way that you can get your deals. And then after you do come up with these deals or leads, after you come up with these leads, now you need to actually have somewhere where you can organize your leads. We call that a CRM.
Yeah.
So I use a CRM called Follow Up Boss. I asked them if I can get paid, but they said no. It was like, thank you, brother. We love you, but just tell people to come sign up with us. I'm like, okay. But anyway, but I use Follow Up Boss. Follow Up Boss is a CRM, a customer relationship management system. You're going to need that. Whenever you go to like McDonald's and you subscribe to McDonald's, or if you buy from McDonald's and you, for whatever reason, leave your email with them, or what's another brand that always texts me? T-Mobile. I'm with T-Mobile now. They text me
Yeah.
every week or every 2 weeks because they have a CRM. They're keeping up with their clients. They're keeping up with
Hmm.
their leads. They got to know when to send out text messages, when they have promotions, when they're trying to sell me something. Like they got to be able to keep up with these leads. Same thing with us. You got to keep up with your leads with a CRM. So I use Follow Up Boss. That's one CRM that you can use. Another CRM, because I know Follow Up Boss so much, I don't even know any other CRMs.
No, so I use my thing is before I had my CRM, I had Excel sheet and pen and paper, which works for a little bit. Don't get me wrong, like that works for a little bit, but don't let that be your end all be all. Because you're gonna
Yeah.
forget it right down. You're gonna forget. You're gonna lose it. Probably lose it. But I'll have so many books around here. I'm looking at like a stack of them over there to a corner. You're gonna lose track where all that is. Like it's easier to have things automated, and especially like on a certain software that can kind of keep a track of it. I'm using Astro Blaster as my CRM. Reason being, it keeps literally everything automated for me. Through
Like,
like SMS texting to keeping follow ups to replying back to people to doing all that kind of thing. So it literally does the work for me on that side of things. So CRMs are very essential, and especially like when you're trying to having a W two, having another job, having some other priorities, like maybe you're in something else. Just having that extra accountability partner that your CRM that's like a software that's doing it for you. That's what's what I'm trying to think of. Um, I don't know. It's just the best. I was trying to think of a different word, but but
yeah, yeah,
that's what it's gonna do.
I love it. So now we got our CRM. We're following up with the leads that we were hitting from driving for dollars or door knocking. We got it. We got a potential deal now. Okay. So the deal is we're putting it under contract for 240,000. The house is worth 400 grand. Boom. They sign a contract. What's next?
What's next? Next is, I mean, you get the contract. Well, first, let's talk about the contract a little bit because the contract you want to make sure that you're using protects you, protects the seller, protects your end buyer. Because if you're gonna wholesale it, you're not actually gonna be the end buyer on it. You want to make sure that your
Mm-hmm.
buyer has all the stipulations and everything like that, right? So, of course, you use a real estate contract. Those are probably going to be the best ones used, but a lot of times are right now with wholesalers whenever they're going to get a whole or a real estate contract, it doesn't have the clause in there to have say assignable. So on all the contracts when you're wholesaling, you want to make sure that says assignable to uh what's it called? I haven't did the wholesale in so long.
I know it's they usually have and or
Yeah,
assigned.
and or assigned. That's what terminology. So you want to make sure you have and or assigned on your contract. That way, it won't lock you into being the only buyer that can do it. And a lot of agents will like, oh, this contract, I don't want to sign it because you. I don't know why agents are never wanting to sign things. I don't know where it came from, but a lot of times I'm like, what I tell agents is, look, I have a bunch of LLCs that I work with, and this is just my wholesaling LLC that I get the contract under, and then I decide later on what I want to do with the property, whether it's going to be a rental, whether it's going to be a fix and flip,
I
whether it's going
love
to be towards sober living, whether it's going to be battered women, whether it's going to be towards whatever kind of business I have for my LLC. I don't know yet, but I like to get it under this LLC first, and then whenever I close, I'll switch it over to the LLC. That usually works a lot of times. They don't usually question me after that. So if you ever run into something like that, I think that's kind of terminology you should use. So when going to that, you want to make sure that it says and/or signs. Also on the contract, you want to make sure you give yourself a plenty of time on the option period or inspection period. Now in North Carolina and Texas, I think are the only two states that have the option period. And then also talk about option fee. I'm gonna say this twice. You do not have to do an option fee. You do not have to do an option fee.
option fee.
Any real estate contract is malleable. You can change it whatever you want it to do, as long as you and the seller agree to whatever terms you guys want. Like that's what's going to be said. So don't let any kind of realtor tell you. This is a realtor tell another realtor. Don't let these realtors tell you that you have to do an option fee, especially in those two states. I don't know if it's any other state, but what an option fee is, it's basically another side of earnest money, and it's saying that just to have this inspection period, you're gonna have to pay like $10 a day, $20 a day, $30 a day, just every single day during that option period, just to go look at it. So that's not refundable. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to your earnest money, that's just money you put in as a down payment towards your purchase price, and then that money is refundable if you cancel within your inspection period time. I say all that to say, make sure you have enough time to make sure you have a good inspection, to make sure your buyers have enough time to, see what they need to see before they buy. That way, you're not rushing to the end of the table trying to rush things out because I mean, at that point, you just have to cancel the contract, and that don't look good on you. So,
Got
yeah.
you. Got you. So you're basically saying that if I have this under contract, I just want to make sure that I buy enough time for my end buyers to go in there and inspect the property and have their contractors go in there. Is that kind of in the ballpark of what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to make sure because a lot of, I mean, back last year, I mean, buyers are doing this sight unseen. They can do like 3 day inspections, 5 day inspections, and like they didn't want to see it. They said, hey, yeah, wrap it up. Let's go and start building on it. They start building before the contract even start close. But nowadays, like you have to make sure that you have enough time because
Yeah,
these buyers nowadays are so much more strict on on their pricing and the
yeah,
things they need fixed and all this kind of things. They want deep deductions on everything, and so you have to make sure the numbers are right. Make sure that you have plenty enough time on the inspection period for them to get in there, check everything out, and do what they need to do. And yeah, I mean that's kind of the main thing. And when it comes to earnest money, make sure that let me talk about earnest money a little bit because
I was
there's a
going to
few
ask you to that.
yeah, because I'm like I started off I didn't have earnest money. Like I'm saying I didn't have earnest money. I didn't and I'm sure like a lot of other people don't have 2 to 3 $5,000 to put towards earnest money
Right.
down to lock down the contract because I didn't have it. So what I did personally was I went out and got a gator lender. A gator lender is basically a
Yep.
transactional lender. And what they do is they'll come in and fund your EMD, they'll fund your down payment, whatever you kind of need them funding for. They usually typically do it less than 30 days. Sometimes they do it more, but typically it's less than 30 days. They'll fund your earnest money, and all they want is whenever you sell it to your end buyer, they'll just take a chunk of your assignment. So I mean, in the end part of it, you're getting into the deal with no money because they're funding your EMD for you, locking in your contract. Whenever you sell it, say you get $5,000 and they ask for like $1,000 for you, they're gonna take $1,000 from that, and you walk away with 4,000 with no money into the deal. That's truly no money into real estate. Like you literally get paid just to do what you
I
just,
love it.
and you're paying somebody else to help them out. So, if you guys need gator lenders, I'm sure. I don't know. Are you gator lending jobs?
Nah.
I'm definitely gator lending. So if y'all guys need any earnest money, if y'all watching this and need any earnest money, hit me up in my DMs. I see my ad name. I'm always gator lending all the time. I'm actually doing like two right now. So
Dang.
uh, love gator lending.
How speaking of gator lending, not to get off topic, I'm sorry y'all, but how I'm really curious. How long are your terms whenever you're lending on a gator lender deal?
Yeah, so me, I'm only doing 30. Like I'm doing no more than 30. Like some people I know do longer than 30 if the money's good and they usually kind of inflate their prices with that. But me personally, I'm not doing more than 30. Like I might as well just put my money somewhere else at that point.
Right.
Me personally, but I know some people do longer than 30.
Okay.
The idea is not to do it, the whole system around it, but it's your money. You do what you want with it, you know?
Got you.
Yeah.
So is the gator lending thing like more for just earnest money, or could you use that for like what if I needed $4,500 to like actually close a deal?
Yeah, absolutely. So you need a down payment to close the deal. I'll fund that deal. Make sure whenever you guys get paid out after like a flip or after whatever kind of the case is or refinance
Nice.
or whatever you guys are doing, I have my fee set in place. Make sure I get my fee and I'll fund your down payment.
I love it.
Yeah.
I freaking love it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Those
Gator
are
lending is a smooth business. If you want to get in real estate, you can start gator lending. And you don't even have to have the money to do it. You can say, hey, Damien, I know somebody that needs earnest money. Can you help them out and give me, and I'll pay you just for a referral fee for just helping me out. You don't need money for it. All you doing is know a connection. Say, hey, Jabs, I got a homeboy that needs funds for his earnest money. Can you help him out? Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna slide you a
mhm.
referral fee for helping me like make money with this dude and you get paid without even having the money to fund it. Like, there's a lot of ways to make money in real estate,
I
man.
love it, bro. I freaking love it, man. I love it, dude. I'm
Yeah,
now I'm getting excited about Gator Linden. Like, hey, Damien, I need like 2,000. He can
hey man,
close.
I'll be throwing it out, man. Just let me know. We got the contracts written up and everything like that. So, and just make sure everything's contracted. Don't go, yeah. Make sure everything's in writing. I've been through it and I knew better. I knew better. Like get everything in writing. I don't care if it's a handshake, your best bro, yeah,
Yeah,
anything, man. Get everything
everything's.
in writing.
I love
I'm
it.
not gonna keep. I'm gonna always say that. Get everything in writing, especially if it's like a good friend of yours, because it's gonna make it so much worse if they default on you,
Hmm.
and you got that sour taste in your mouth now whenever you at each other around the the function or whatever the case is. Yeah, you don't want that problem. So
Hmm.
get everything right and make
I
sure
love it.
that you hold up your end of the deal and always under promise and over deliver on everything you do.
100%.
Yeah,
So we got a property under contract.
got on the contract,
We
got
we
it
we
funded.
yeah.
Yeah,
So now we got the we the buyer. They went through the whole inspection period. I think we're pretty much clear. What's next after that?
Well, how are we finding that buyer? Like, how do you find buyers?
That's a really good question. So, what I usually do, how I find my buyers, man, that was a good question, bro. So, how I find my buyers is, and what I train my team on is, we just go straight to prop stream. We go right to prop stream. There's several different ways to find buyers, right? Can I share my screen
Go
again?
ahead, man. Hit me.
Okay. All right. So it's it's just funny to me because, like, dude, this is old. Like, this is like super old content. Let me see how to find buyers. Um, Give me one quick second. This was like an old dude. This was, yeah. Hold up, right quick. And maybe this you may like it. Like, you may like it. But this is an old school way of finding buyers. I'm about to share my screen in a second. All right, Damien. Don't laugh at me, bro.
I'm already suited for that.
I was out there hustling, dude. I was out there hustling. I'm talking about at nighttime. I mean, do not laugh at me, bro. All right. You ready? Can you see my screen? Can you see?
Yeah, I see it. Well,
Perfect.
I see the multiple screen thing. Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, man, ain't no laugh about that.
Here we go. All right. So I used to place out bandit signs
That's a
around
little reverse. I never
around the
seen it that
neighborhood.
way though.
I used to place out bandit, bro. I was out there hustling. This right here, this was Walmart. This was Walmart.
That's a little different because I like usually you see it the other way around. Like you usually see we buy houses and
Oh,
people try to do it that way, but you got to reverse
yes,
where like I sell to investors. That's a little unique. That's different.
yes, yes. So I used to come up with something with some creative stuff, bro. Like,
That's that's not actually bad. That's actually a pretty smart idea,
hey,
honestly. You
Damien,
don't ever see
hey,
that.
Damien, listen, man. I'm trying to talk to some. I want somebody to call my phone. I don't care if I didn't have
Yeah.
a deal or not. Hey, we sell to investors.
And the
70%.
thing is, every time somebody an investor calling you.
Yes, exactly. So I literally, and if y'all don't know the area code 817, that's Fort Worth, Texas, baby. We here. No, I'm just kidding. But literally, dude, I used to go out and I would buy like 100 and like maybe 200 banner signs, and my wife used to get mad at me, like, but she understand why. But she like, babe, like, you spending a lot of money on these signs. I'm like, babe, I'm making a lot of money on these signs. So she would, like, when we made the money, of course she was happy, she was excited. But this is the grind right here. Like, this is one way that I would find my buyers, is I would just literally go out, go buy some bandit signs. And not only am I buying bandit signs, but I'm placing these bandit signs in like high traffic areas. So I'm gonna give you a few different. I call it my sauce. I'm gonna give y'all a little sauce real quick. So I would place these bandit signs around Walmart, Home Depot, Walmart,
Mm.
favorite shopping center. I don't know why, because I spend $300 every time I freaking go in there. But I love Walmart. So, and it's high traffic in there. It's always traffic coming in and out. But I will post them at the entrances of Walmart and the exits. I mean, it's the same thing. But I'll post it at Lowe's. You may find some investors there at Lowe's. I'm pretty sure that
Definitely.
Home Depot. I'm posting them everywhere. Entrances, exits. I'm posting in the middle where the little grass spots is. Like, I'm posting them everywhere. Target. I'm posting these signs everywhere. Of course, you can also post your banner signs inside, like by the stoplights in the high traffic areas, like the main roads. You want to post them there, but you want people to see these banner signs. You want to write legibly, like this one. I don't know. I probably have my little cousin or something do that, but you want to write legibly so that your buyers can actually see them. It's a great way of finding buyers. Another way that I used to find buyers, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen. But another way
Oh, yeah.
that we find buyers is we use PropStream.
Mm-hmm.
We leverage the heck out of PropStream. I would literally go to PropStream, and should I show you that, or can I just talk about it?
Either one. Either one.
Paper, rock, scissors. If I win, we
I
gonna
have
we gonna
that.
talk about it. You ready? Paper, rock, scissors, shoot.
You didn't. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Paper, rock, scissors, shoot.
All right,
All
man,
right,
you got it.
all right. I'll just talk about it. So we'll go straight to PropStream. That's funny, bro. You funny for doing that. But we would literally go to PropStream and we would type in the address of the property, the subject property. We have a property under contract right now, and we're just trying to find a buyer, trying to find somebody that want to buy this house. Let's just pretend like we don't have, we don't really have like a contract signed. Let's just pretend like we don't have a contract signed, but we do know the seller is actually interested in selling. So what I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to do is I'm going to find a buyer first.
Mm-hmm.
Let me at least be in the ballpark. Let me see, where is this lady at? Like, what is her price? She's at 150. Okay, perfect, fine. Now I want to make $5,000. You know, it's 5,000. That's fine. I've never made 5,000, so I want to make 5,000 for my first deal. Okay, cool. So I'm going to PropStream, typing in my address, and I'm looking up cash buyers. When I go on PropStream, I look for two things. I look for the highest sold comp, and I look for the lowest sold comp. The highest, because that's obviously a fix and flipper. The lowest is because that may be a cash deal. So now that I know that, now that I got my highest sold comp, which came from a flipper, which also came from an agent, because the agent had to list the property. Oh, y'all
Mm-hmm.
can't see my finger. And then I'm looking at the lowest sold comp. Obviously, the fix and flipper had to buy it at a discount. So that's why I'm looking for those two type of deals. Once I find those deals, I'm gonna click on them. Yeah, it would be easier just showing y'all. But I would click on those properties, and an LLC should pop up. It should say something like Damian Cooks LLC or We Buy Houses LLC. If it has LLC, perfect. I'm skip tracing that company. I'm skip tracing that LLC.
I do skip tracing.
So there's a few different ways. Honestly, I think batchleads.io would be the perfect way.
Really, I didn't know they did that.
It makes it easier so you don't have to go through and look for the registered agent and then all of that stuff. But what I usually do is, if I'm broke, let's just say if I'm broke, I don't have any money, I would look up the LLC. My wife was about to bring me something to eat.
I was saying, literally, as my wife came up with some pizza.
So you want to say hey to YouTube Live? But so I would look up the LLC, and the LLC, they're owned by somebody, right? I would go to like the Secretary of State website and find the registered agent. A lot of people, they do it different ways, but this is how I do it. If I didn't have any money, I'm lazy now, so I'm just kind of, I would rather do it the much faster way by just going to batch leads and skip tracing them there, because they can skip trace LLCs. For some reason, Lead Sherpa, they can't. So
Mm-hmm.
I go to the SOS website and I find out who the registered agent is, or the actual business owner of the company. I'm looking up that name. I'll go to Google. Let's just say it says Damian Cooks LLC. Well, I'm going to go to Google and look up Damian Cooks LLC. 9 times out of 10, the actual owner name is going to pop up. You'll see their name. Some people, they don't know how to do the whole anonymity stuff, and their name pops up. When you looked up my old LLC, my name popped right up as soon as you type in my company name. And I'm like, whoa, whoa. So it was easy to find me. But if they don't have no anonymity and all of that stuff, it'll be easier to find them just by Googling up the LLC name, find their name. You already have the address pulled up on PropStream, so you can literally go to your skip tracing service, type in the name, not the LLC name, but the actual owner of that property, like the actual owner of that LLC. So Damian Cooks LLC, I'm pretty sure we should see Damian Cooks as the owner.
Yeah.
So I find Damian Cooks, and I'm going to type in that property address. Type that inside of my skip tracing service, and then boom, they'll pull up Damian Cook's name. If I want to avoid all of that stuff, because you're going to find a whole bunch of buyers. If I want to avoid all of that, I'm just going to batchleads.io and paying for their subscription
Yeah.
just so I can skip trace LLCs.
Yeah,
So
that'd be a lot more efficient.
now that I have this buyer, I'm about to call them. I got their phone number. I skip trace them. Now I'm about to call them. Hey, Damian Cooks LLC, what's up, man? I got this property over here in Fort Worth. I just want to see if you wanted to, make an offer on it. I see you just bought this buy and hold or this fix and flip. I want to see if you may be interested in my property. Yeah, man. What are you asking for it? I want 170. Okay, what's the address? I'm giving him the address so he can run his numbers. He can run his comps. Here's the address, 123 Main Street. Okay, how much work does it need? I don't know. You do your own due diligence, but I'm thinking 40. Okay, so it may be needing like 70,000 because you wholesalers are always wrong. People used to do that to me.
Yeah.
So now he's telling me he can give me 170, kind of ballparking, but he's going to obviously ask me, can he come see the property and all of that stuff? But anyway, he's at 170. He's ballparking at 170. Or no, I'm sorry. I was selling it to him for 170. So he comes back and says, hey, I think I can probably get you 160 for this property. Oh, wow. Perfect. Okay. Now, this is my little sauce, y'all. I will go find the buyer first before I lock up the property under contract.
Mm-hmm.
I always let the sellers know, hey, I'm probably not your buyer, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to my other investors and see if maybe they can give you a higher offer. Now, this I'm getting a little bit too much in depth, and I apologize about it if you're new, but this is just my little sauce. Hey, I'm not your buyer for this property, but I do have other investors that may be interested in maybe purchasing this at a higher price than me. Would it be okay if they pay me a fee for helping you sell your house? Sure.
Let me stop you. So what if they say, "Oh, so are you just one of those wholesalers?" What do you say?
Yes, I am a wholesaler. No, I'm just kidding. No. So pretty much. So I get that question a lot, Damien.
Yeah.
I from time to time I do wholesale if the property doesn't fit my buy box.
Mm-hmm.
But for your specific property, what I would want to do is I want to get you the most that you want for your property. So instead of me lowballing you, let me at least see what these guys are willing to pay.
Perfect.
So I'm letting them know, yes, I wholesale from time to time. I'm not lying to them. I'm letting them know, hey, I do wholesale from time to time, but I just want to at least see what these guys are willing to offer you.
That's the best thing to do, honestly. And it just shows that words carry a lot of weight. It's like wholesaler is just a word at the end of the day.
Yep.
Wholesaler is an extra strategy, honestly, at the end of the day. I preach this all the time. Wholesaling is just a strategy. Like, don't let these sellers, agents tell you, like, oh, you're just a wholesaler. No, I'm an investor, and wholesaling is just one of my strategies that I use to do it. And that kind of ties into what I believe Karen it kind of asks, are we both doing wholesaling or are we both acquiring? We do it all. Like we do creative deals, structuring, we do wholesaling, we do. I don't really do fix and flips, but I'm involved in some fix and flips. We do buy and holds. We do all of that. So we're investors at the end of the day, real estate investors. So we dabble in whatever makes sense for the property. And Jab said it the best way possible. Like it may not fit for me, but I know somebody that will fit for it.
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
Because we're, like you said, man, we're investors. But yes, we do. But we both wholesale. We both acquire properties. In fact, we got a property together by utilizing creative finance.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different topic. But we actually got a property together. That's my brother. But we yes.
That's just one.
Yes.
Just one property. We're gonna get at least like four, about 4 or 5 more this year. Guaranteed. Yeah. I'm working on it.
For sure. You want to get another one in Georgia, or you want to stay out here?
If I get another one in Georgia, I gotta fly out to Georgia.
I got you.
The thing is, I'm going to Georgia in August. So what's up? So if we get one before August, let me know.
Okay. Bet. That's cool with me.
Yeah, we're trying to go to Invest Fest. I'm actually already bought my ticket, so
nice.
I manifested it. So
nice, bro.
Yeah, so I'm going out there. But
Well,
no, that was I like that. So I mean, I love the idea of going backwards and finding a buyer first because it makes it, especially if you're new, you don't know how to analyze deals. You
yeah.
don't know how to, all at this point, all you know is that buyer needs that price, and all you
Mhm.
gotta do at that point is like find a way to get that seller to that price and cut
Damien,
yourself in the middle at that point.
Damien, what if I think I know the answer to this question, but what if I don't know how to write up a contract?
Hey, that's what agents are for. You got agents, you got, and the thing is, it's not even just agents. You got agents, you got, if you're logged into the creative financing with Pace Morby Group, you got plenty of sub two students that are in there that have wholesale contracts there that help you out. You have TCs that are in there that'll write. I think that's what you're getting at, right?
Yep.
The TC, yeah.
Yep.
You have Astro students that help you out, but the main thing is TC. So TC is a transactional coordinator, and what they'll do is they'll write your whole contract for you. Not only will they write your contract, they'll make sure that the seller signs it. They'll make sure the buyer signs it. They'll make sure everything goes right with title. They make sure everything goes seamlessly. Your hands off it completely. Now they do charge a fee depending on the TC, but it depends on TC too when they get paid. So you can pay them at closing and get some money off your assignment fee and do it that way, so you can still be no money into it. Or some people may say, "I need some upfront payment right now," and guess what? Your gated lender that paid your earnest money, they might be able to pay your TC too up front, and then you pay them the rest on the back end. So you just gotta get creative with it. If you really have no money, you'll make a way. But transaction coordinators are essential. I don't do any more deals without a transaction coordinator. Like I just don't because they make sure all the paperwork's right. That's their main job that they do, and it's just like it's one of those things that you don't want to you don't want to be the reason why a deal didn't go through. I want to
Mhm.
make sure I cross all my T's, dot all my I's, and that's what transaction coordinators do. They make sure everybody's in line to make sure the deal closes as smooth as possible.
I love it, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
rewind you really quick. We got 9 minutes, y'all, but I'm gonna rewind you really quick. You mentioned a title company. I'm
Yes.
brand new. I don't know what a title company is. So
Title companies are like, how can you think of title companies are basically just the people that do coordinate the transaction in a way, not the transaction coordinators, but that's when the transaction actually happens. So say that you get your contract, you get your seller to sign it, you sign it. The first thing you need to be doing is going to title company. Any title company should be able to work. Actually, let me not say that because not every title company deals with wholesaling, which is
yeah.
a type of investing type of deal. So make sure you call the title company and say, hey, do you guys do wholesaling deals? Do you guys do creative deals? Whatever you're doing. Make sure you ask that beforehand and just let them know, hey, I want to open up escrow. What escrow is a type of file that they open up to say that, hey, this house is preparing to be transacted. I don't know the word,
Mhm. Yeah,
but
trans.
yeah. So it's planning to be, basically moved to another owner. So we need to open up escrow. Open up escrow doesn't cost any money. Only money that they're asking from you is how much is the earnest money at that point. That's the only money you have to deposit. What that does is locks in your contract in at the title company. It's like a proof of funds in a way that says like, hey, we pay money to have this contract written. Another thing that you guys probably want to do, but it may be a little bit uh, it's another terminology, but you want to do as a memorandum. I do a memorandum on every property as well now, just because I don't trust sellers. They say
Yeah.
buyers are liars, sellers are worse. Like sellers, say like sellers might go behind your back and try to go with another buyer. Say, hey, this buyer gave me this much. Can you do this much? Even though you have it at title, even though you have earnest money in, and they can go sign a contract with somebody else and do the exact same thing, and you could be out of a deal and all that kind of stuff just because
Whoa,
you
whoa,
didn't
whoa.
do
Wait,
it right.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait. So you're saying that if you get a contract signed with a seller,
Mm-hmm.
they can go behind your back and sign with somebody else. So if you get a
Yeah.
contract signed with that seller, they can go behind your back and sign with me.
They do it all the time. They do it all the time and say,
You
hey, if you
use
give me
this information.
$5,000 more, if you give me $1,000 more, I'll
Mhm.
go with you. $1,000, bro. Like you already getting like 150. Like you pushing me over 1,000. They do that all the time.
And that's
And
why you putting the memorandum in
and you
place.
put a memorandum. Memorandum. What's the full terminology? Is it called memorandum?
Yeah, memorandum.
Yeah, yeah,
Memorandum of contract. That's
yeah.
basically
Memorandum of contract. So you'll place that with the Clerk County office, And what it does basically is it clouds title. So that means it shows that you are contracted with this seller, and they can't sell the property, they can't sneeze, they can't refinance, they can't do nothing. They can't do nothing without you taking off that memorandum or closing with you. So always do that, especially when the ones are shaky, and especially if you got like a good deal, because you don't know, like one weekend they may be all nice and dandy to you, and then y'all might have to close like on that next week, and you like, hey, we're still good to go. Like, oh well, we signed with somebody else, and make sure you go to the title company and file it, because if you don't and they do it before you, they're in the right. So
Yeah,
make sure the first thing you do when you get things signed, go to a title company. I don't care if it's at 4 o'clock. They don't close till 5. Go there and open up escrow and put your earnings money down. Like make sure you do that. As that process goes, they're the ones that pull the title reports to make sure that no one else is attached. There's no other liens that are stopping the sale of the property. They'll go through the whole title search of it. They'll go through basically just scanning everything through, make sure that this sale can actually go through. That's their
hmm,
main role. And then they close it. They charge fees like doc fees, all this other kind of fees that they charge within the title company. But they're the ones that actually just kind of push the deal along to make sure everything's according to the way it's supposed to be and legal. They usually have some kind of legal within their title company to make sure everything's good.
ooh, Karen, I love this one.
So what you talking about?
She said, I like hearing how different people analyze deals. Would y'all share about the process that you use to evaluate and analyze cash and creative deals? What tool are you using to get comps? I
Yeah.
love this
You
question.
gotta come back. You gotta come back for that. That's a whole episode. That's
Yeah,
our next episode. Appreciate it, Karen.
I
We'll
love
definitely make
it.
that our next topic we make on Tuesday. It'll be all about deal analysis and evaluating. I'm down for that.
I love that question.
Is
I'm
I don't.
actually,
I think we evaluate differently. I feel like. Do we? No, actually, I feel like we evaluate pretty much the same.
yeah, I think. Well, how do you? Well, dang. So now we got 4 minutes left.
Hey, you
That's the reason
stirring
why
you
I'm
stirring up
saying
the
we might
pot,
have to
Karen.
do it on the next episode because
You stirring up
because
the
now
pot.
she got my real estate brains going.
Yeah, the thing is, like, we're both pretty creative with our deals, so like, I think we both think outside the box, but maybe a little bit differently. But that
Mhm.
just goes to show you, like, there's so many ways that you can do things.
I love, man. I really wish we can like actually. I want to answer it so bad. Like I want to just like, hey, look.
Give her a snippet, and then just leave it all till next week.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, give her
So
something to come back to.
all right, so pretty much, oh, most definitely, Ryan. But pretty
My man.
much how I come in and oh, my boy Daryl Ellison just texted me and said he in Dallas this weekend.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he just texted me. But how I analyze deals, this is actually a great question because one of my team members, we're actually talking about this right now. But her struggle was like, how do I comp deals, right? And what we use, that was this, I'm answering the last question. What tool are you using to get comps? Well, I use a couple different tools. One, if it's in Dallas, Fort Worth, or Houston, I'm using the MLS. I'm using the MLS. If I don't have MLS access, I'm going to call an agent and ask her to run comps or him. So if Damien, if he have access to the MLS, hey Damien, hey bro, you mind running these comps real quick for me? I got a property on such and such street. It's 1,400 square feet. Blah blah blah. I can have an agent run comps for me. But if I buy out of state, right? I got properties in Georgia, Virginia, Tennessee, Wisconsin, all of that stuff. So I need a tool that's going to help me analyze deals. A free tool is Zillow. You
Hmm.
got Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. People they take those websites lightly. I actually love those websites. If
Yep.
you ask my team, they'll tell you that is the first place that I go to. I go straight to Zillow whenever I'm analyzing a deal. Now if you got some money, you got a little money, and you like, hey, I can actually spend some money. I don't want to use these free websites because I don't trust them. Look, I'm using PropStream. Straight up, I'm using PropStream. It's easy. I can find my comps. I can go in and get what I'm looking for. When I go into PropStream, I'm looking up the MLS comps, right? As far as evaluating cash and creative deals, we got a minute left. I would love to get into that, but we probably will have to talk about that on the next episode. So, Damien, if you want to let us out,
Yeah,
this
man. It was great. I mean, hopefully you guys got a lot of information on how to find your first deal from, the lead generation. If you want to go, driving for deals, door knocking, getting letters. Uh, Jerry Norton is a great. I want to say he's a fix and flipper, a wholesaler as well.
Mm-hmm.
As that question. But yeah, to get in the deals, to how to make sure you get on the contract to protect yourself, protect your seller, protect your buyers, and to protect yourself. How to get into deals, especially how to fund your earnest money, how to fund your down payment, how to pay your TC, who is a TC, all the way to how to find your buyers and everything like that. So I definitely feel like we touched all the bases with it. And again, there's so much more ways. So next time Tuesday we'll be back. We'll be underwriting deals, showing each other how we underwrite, and showing both our unique ways of how we underwrite. Sound good?
Love it, man. I
Hey,
love it.
man, another great show, man. I appreciate it.
Before you go, Damien, you mind giving
What's
us
up?
a quick shout out to Daryl Ellison?
Oh yeah, Daryl. Is he on live right now? What's going on?
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to send him this quick video, really, really
Oh
quick.
yeah.
We're gonna go
Show
ahead
us
and get.
good. Hey, is he live right now? I'll go ahead and run it back real quick.
Oh no, you good,
Oh
you
yeah,
good.
D. We gotta get you. Is it recording right now? I wanted to let him
Yes.
know that he had to come on the podcast right now and go and give him his little spill of how he went to Rags to Riches. He's from Georgia, right?
Daryl is from Maryland.
Maryland. Okay, bet. But yeah, I know briefly of his story, but I would love to have him on the podcast to kind of tell us a little bit about what he got going on, about his podcast that he got going with our man
Hmm.
Alejandro and Marlon and was it Sam?
Yep.
All those guys, and just tell about how he's going. Because he definitely went from, I don't know if he was at rags, but I feel like from his story, I've been telling him he went from rags to riches. Now he doing the thing, man.
Oh yeah.
So that's what's
We love
up.
you, bro. We love you, man. All right, man. I'm about to put these kids in the tub. It's 8:30 Central Standard Time, y'all. So we'll on the next episode we'll get into Karen. We'll get that question answered for you.
All right, all right. Peace.
All right, bro.